I haven't seen much of Kamala Harris recently. Have you?
She was on The View this week
Okay.
and
Right.
developed, speaking as like the administration official who's connected with the youth. And so she had to answer for the fact that the youth hate her administration's support for the genocide. And she gave this typically sort of long-winded and hilarious answer about why it's fine to support a genocide and how she still hears the youth. Like she's totally connected with them. And she says, like, I love Generation Z.
Let's actually pull that up because.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's tough, but for comedy's sake, maybe it's worth it. I got it here. And also her husband recently spoke about.
So let's get Kamala on first. Let's go to Douglas Emhoff, first husband, in Davos, on the oppression that Jews face today.
But as American Jews, I think the feeling is one of aloneness and being hated and being unmoored and all these things that we had maybe fooled ourselves into thinking that this wasn't so bad. We're not really experiencing anti-Semitism. It's never going to be this horrible. It happened. And then, as you've been saying, we kind of saw who our friends were and who our friends weren't. And there were too many in the weren't category, some who we thought were friends, and just shocking. So it's that feeling of like just being.
So, first of all, I don't know who among his friends shocked him into thinking that, they hated Jews. Suddenly they hated Jews. You can see he's on a panel with Jonathan Greenblatt from the Defamation League, which is just an arm of the censorship industrial complex. And I think he's sitting next to the wife of the Israeli president, Isaac Herzog, who came out in October and said there are no civilians in Gaza and, has been ginning up genocide ever since. So Douglas Emhoff is a millionaire entertainment lawyer married to the vice president. And he's sitting there surrounded by basically Israel lobbyists backed by billionaires in a hyper-securitized ski resort surrounded by the world's cast of reptilian shape-shifting hovercraft elites. And he's complaining about being an oppressed Jew as though he's hiding in a secret annex in a house in Rotterdam or Amsterdam or something from the Gestapo outside. It's really absurd and speaks to the completely delusional messaging strategy of this administration, where they're just going over the heads of their base that wants them to impose a ceasefire and speaking directly to the donors. That's all that is. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, look,
what's it like being a Jew, a fake ass Jew, Aaron? Are you afraid?
Well, it's just so embarrassing. It's not as if, Judaism is like defines my identity, right? I'm not religious. It's, I just see myself as a human being, but it is my culture. It is my history. And I just think about, it's like, is this what, Jews have gone through so much suffering. And is this what we've emerged from all that suffering and genocide to turn into, which is genocidal elites who are claiming victimization now as we're enjoy so much privilege and are seeing a genocide committed in our name. It's humiliating. It is. It is. And he says it with no shame. Like, even though he's sitting in a ski resort with a bunch of other rich people, still complaining about being a victim, while his wife's administration is backing a genocide in the name of the Jewish people. It's just humiliating. It's such a disgrace to the people who have actually suffered from anti-Semitism. I mean, we said the same thing over and over and over, but it's true. And what can I say? I don't understand. I can't begin to imagine what it's like to be inside the mind of someone who could say something like that. I just can't imagine it.
I mean, I can. I don't think there's a lot of thinking there. I don't think Douglas Emhoff. I don't think there's a lot of feeling there. I don't think Douglas Emhoff really strongly identifies with Jewish communal life the way Jonathan Greenblatt might. I don't even know if Jonathan Green. I mean, that dude's just next level sociopathic. But Emhoff is advancing the talking points of the administration, and he's in Davos to appeal to the donor base and to prevent the Israel lobby from taking on from attacking them and causing a donor revolt, because so much of the Democrats' money, like the Republicans, comes from pro-Israel donors. And so he's, I wouldn't say spreading fear, but he's at least confirming that he's trying to identify with the irrational, delusional fears of people who exist within the pro-Israel world, who happen to be some of the most privileged, pampered, affluent members of American society.